All right, it's the 17th of April. We've got about just under 30 minutes to the NY Open. We'll go to the charts in a second. Just give me a second. Okay, let's start with the calendar. Just 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Right. So today we've got unemployment claims at 8:30 a.m. EST. It's not an important news event. It's not at all an important news event, but since it's 30 minutes after NY Open, it makes sense just to wait for the news event before opening any trades or looking for any setups, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait till unemployment claims, which is in about an hour or about 55 minutes from now. Okay, so we have plenty of time for analysis today, just like yesterday. Um, okay, let's look at the daily. What happened yesterday? So we had a massive, another huge candle, 1,000+ pip candle. Now these are becoming very common, these candles, right? Plus 1,000 pip candles. We had two low volume days and a massive plus 1,000 pip candle. And we've tapped 3,350, right? We closed above 3,300. Now this candle has only body, no top wick, no bottom wick, and we closed above 3,300. We obviously tapped 3,350. We've been speaking about 3,500 for a couple of weeks now. That's probably where price is heading, unless there is some sort of deal struck with the tariffs, right? So until there is uncertainty in the market, price is going to be pushing up. It's very straightforward. And the moment they start negotiating, price is going to, you'll see pullbacks, you'll see, I don't want to say reversals, but you'll see big drops, right, happening. Once you see negotiations start and deals being made, you'll start seeing price starting to pull back. But until that happens, there is still uncertainty in the market, and we're heading towards 3,500, right? Now, today, we could close a doji because we've tapped 3350 already. If we hadn't, then we would be anticipating a bull candle to push up and tap it, but we've already tapped it, right? We've, we're going to see if we tapped it in the Asian or London session, but we've already tapped it. So the point is, the daily time frame could close a doji like this, just like this. We could close a doji. It could be a low volume trading day. So it's hard to say if you're going to close a bullish doji or a bearish doji, or we're going to drop straight down to 3,300, right? Because 3,350 has already been tapped. That's the area that needed to be tapped. We've tapped it, grabbed liquidity. Now we need to see, is this too expensive for gold, and is it going to push price down, or are we going to push up, probably close a doji and continue higher tomorrow, right? Um, we'll have to go down to the low time frames to see what's possible today. All right, let's go to the. So before we start our zones, let's do a quick recap. Now, yesterday we had a trade idea. There were sells. They did work. Price did come to 3,300. You can see the drop. Let's go to the 50-minute time frame, right? We had drawn the fib based off this candle. Price did come. It did not break the high, and it did drop down to 3,300, right? That's about 110 pip, 120 pip move. And soon after that, we formed, that's a liquidity level, right? These are liquidity areas. So the BRN, or psychological round number, is a liquidity area. Price formed 30 minutes support at that liquidity area. Perfect. That's a tradable 30-minute bull candle close. We formed support, we tapped it, formed support, tradable 30-minute bull candle close, all in this single 30-minute candle. So so this candle closed IC market server time 1700 hours. When this candle opened, if you go down to the 15-minute time frame, and if you look, this is the candle close, the 30-minute candle close. If you look at the previous two low breaks, this one broke this low, this broke this low. If you draw your fib like this, price did come inside the first few hours of the first half of the NY session, tap this line and push straight up. Now, why would you not consider this? Because this 30-minute candle broke the high. We've gone past the liquidity candle, right? That's why we draw these things. Once it goes past it, that's it. There is no more liquidity. Price is heading straight up. Where is it heading to? On the price chart, all we have is this. We have 3,350, right? In between that, we have nothing to the left. There is no price action, so price can reverse, but all we have on a price chart is 3,350, and that's exactly what price did. It tapped this fib level, 3306.5, and you could have put your stop loss under the 30-minute candle low. That would have been about 80 pips, and a straight run up. Now, I didn't take that trade. I was off stream at that time, but that's an ideal trade to take. Okay, let's get rid of all of these and start our analysis for the day. Okay, let's start with demand first. There is a rally, a base, and a rally here, right? This is a basing candle. Now we are going to take a look at this on the 1 hour time frame or the 30-minute time frame because it's crossed a BRN, a psychological round number. But for now, we'll keep it on the 4 hour. 161,296. Okay. Let's look at the 1 hour on the same thing. Yeah. So on the 1 hour, it's a lot more clearer. This would be the leg in. These are all base in candles. This would be the first base in candle because that has more collective wick than body. So we're going to bring it to that, right? And that's the zone. That's better, right? Let's take a look at the 30-minute also. Yeah, I'm going to bring it a little bit higher. There, right? That's the move out, the leg out. That's the clean leg out. So bring it up to this. So 408, 883. And that's fairly 250 pip zone. Okay. And we've tapped it already. Now, in terms of supply, we have a rally and a drop here, right? And it's exactly of 3350. So we are going to mark that level. Let's look at the 1 hour for the base. Maybe even 30-minute, because we've come off 3350 there. So we have to go down a time frame and look at the lower time frames. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. So rally, these are all basing candles, and that's the big drop, right? And we have tapped it here. This open is 533, and this high is 545. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Right, that's nice. We have a tap here. Now, let's adjust this. Let's bring this zone further down. 883. We'll extend this also to the right, just to cover a decent area. It's about 400 pips, maybe another zone. Yeah, that covers about 600 pips of downside. That's good enough. Let's extend these liquidity candles also to the right. These were marked yesterday. I'm not going to redraw them today. If you want to have a look at how these were drawn, please watch the first 15-20 minutes of yesterday's stream, and it'll be very clear. This is a 1 hour zone. That's what's left of that 1 hour zone. This is also a 1 hour zone. We haven't tapped that zone yet. Just bringing all these labels to the right. That's all I'm doing right now. Okay, so we have supply here. That's 4 hour supply because it's visible on the 4 hour time frame, right? And then we have a drop, and then another, we have a drop base and another drop here. So we're going to take a look at this on the 1 hour time frame. Mm. Okay. Let's take a look at this area again. Maybe on 30-minute. Yeah, there is a zone here. Because on the 4 hour, there is a drop, a base, and a drop, right? Drop, base, drop. So if we were to mark this just off the 4 hour, this is probably what it's going to look like, right? Drop and a base and a drop. This is a single basin candle, right? So if you just take the, yeah, something like that. That's the base and this is the drop. But let's look at that on the 1 hour. We have a drop. These are all basin candles, but there is no drop here. So we go down to the 30-minute, and now it's clear. Now we have a clear move out. So we can bring this up here and bring this here and here. So that would be a rally. These are all basin candles, and that would be the leg out, right? It's once you, I've always said, if you're unsure about how to draw zones, always look for the clear move out of the zone, right? On the 4 hour, we know that there is a drop. I hope I'm audible. On the 4 hour, we know that there is a drop and a base. It's a drop, base, drop here, but it's not, the zone's not very clear. So if we look at the 1 hour, we know that there is a zone, there is a rally and some sort of a base and a drop, but we can't see the leg out. So if we go to the 30-minute, we have a clear leg out there, right? And we have the, so when we have the leg out, now we can look for the rally, the original, that move, right? This is a bull candle. So this would be the rally, this is the base, and this is the drop. How big is this zone? So 177 pip zone. Okay. 545, 804. Okay. Yeah, I would mark this also as 4-hour supply because it is visible on the 4 hours time frame. Yeah. Okay. That's 1 hour demand. This is 4-hour demand. Okay, next thing. Let's see if this zone here, since price is falling down from it, has it taken out, is it a high liquidity zone or not, right? So we're going to check. Here there is a drop and a rally, so there is some sort of demand here. Price has pushed down and taken this out, right? So this is a high liquidity zone. It's clear on the on the 1 hour. This zone here, yes, it's pushed down. This candle has taken out this demand here. Rally based rally, also rally based rally. Two demand zones have been taken out by this single push down, making this also a high liquidity zone, right? This demand zone here, going to have to take a look at it on 30-minute, I believe. Yeah, we spoke about this yesterday. There is a drop here. There's a rally, a base, and well, a kind of a drop, right? This would be the drop. This will all be a base, a rally. These will all be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base in candles and a drop. And this push up that started with this candle went up here, took out this high, making this also a high liquidity zone. I hope that's clear. Okay, those are the zones for today. Now the next thing we're going to do is identify a high liquidity candle. Just a second. Yeah. Hmm. Let's start where price is right now at. Let's start from where price is. What are we reacting to? Is there a high liquidity candle in here? So what I'm looking for is the largest bearish candle in this area, right? All across, not just the zone, but across the zone here. So the largest 1-hour candle would be this. Let's start with that. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, that would still be the candle. It's a massive candle. It's a 278 pip candle. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. It's 222 pip candle. It's a 185 pip candle. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame. That's 184 pips. 147 pips. 184, 145. Yeah, yeah. This would be the candle. This would be the candle. It's a very large candle. Let's take a look at the 1 minute time frame. It's 101, 92. No, it's on the 5 minute. Okay, let's put the numbers on this. 835988. You can see the perfect tap into it and the push down. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the zone above on the 1 hour. See if there is a zone. See if there's a liquidity candle in here. There is a liquidity level here, 3350, but we're going to check for a liquidity candle. There's nothing on the 1 hour. Stick on 30 minutes. There is nothing, just this wick. Let's start with that wick. Let's go to the 15 minute. There's a large candle there. 84 pip candle. 72. 92. Let's go to the 5 minute. $62.56. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, and it goes, and the PRN goes right in the middle of it. Perfect. So 397,776. 397,776. Let's take this up a bit so we don't overlap this. 835. Okay. Okay. Right. So we have two liquidity candles here. Let's look at demand. We still have plenty of time. All right. We have one zone here, one new zone here. Let's take a look at it. We're looking for the largest bull candle here. That would be this for now. That engulfs the entire zone. That's a 296 pip candle. Let's start with that. $211 pips. 183. Let's go to the 15. 189. 180. Let's go to the 5-minute for a second. Yeah, this is 128. Yeah, I'm going to keep the 50 on the 15-minute. Yeah, we've tapped the. Let's go to 30 minutes. Second. 195. Yeah, it's the 15-minute. 10, 1. Okay, done. That's it. Just a second. Okay. Okay, this is the NY Open. We still have another 30 minutes until news, until 8:30 a.m. EST. We're not going to open any trades or look for any setups until then. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then we'll take a look at what price has done in the Asian and London session. So we have a better idea of what price could possibly do in the first 2 hours of the NY Open, right? So these are the zones. Maybe I'll go down to the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, all right. This is what it looks like. So we have 2 4-hour supply zones here. We have a new 4-hour demand zone down here, and these zones are from the previous day, right? Okay. All right, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. That's the market open right there. So the market opened at 33.43, around 33.43.5, right? That's the market open. Okay, right. In the Asian session, price moved 350 pips. In the London session, we moved also 325 pips. 350, 325 pips. Asian 350, London 325, right? Now let's take a closer look at what price did. That's the market open. We were very bullish, right? And we were bullish. We created 30-minute support here at 3,300 during the NY, in the first half of the NY open. Price came, dipped, and then pushed up. There is a liquidity candle that was formed here on the way up, and then price dipped into that, grabbed liquidity, pushed up, went, and it was on its way to 3,350. So this is where the market closed. That's where it opened. As soon as it opened, it tapped 3,350, right? And then we formed 30-minute resistance here, right? We formed 30-minute resistance here, and price pushed down and tapped 3,350 again, right? And price continued down, but this was the Asian high, because this is the where price pushed up and then we made 30-minute resistance, and that's a decision to drop all the way down, to drop 350 pips, right? That's an important decision point. So that is why that swing high is the Asian high, right? We created the Asian high, we created 30-minute resistance here. That's 30-minute resistance form here, and a single candle, 30-minute candle dropped straight down. On its way down, it created a liquidity candle here and a liquidity candle here, all right? A liquidity candle for this zone, a liquidity candle for this zone right here, okay? And we dropped straight to the EMA, grab liquidity, pushed back up. We created the Asian low, pushed back up into this new liquidity candle that we had created, right? Came deep into it, created 30-minute resistance again, right there, formed the London high, dropped back to the Asian low, right? And came further to the next liquidity candle. Came further to the next EMA, right? And then we closed below it, closed back above, ranged a bit, came down, tapped the EMA, and then formed 30-minute support there and closed above the Asian high. Right, we closed above the Asian high. We're trying to push back up. Now, we haven't tapped this liquidity candle today in the Asian or London session. This liquidity candle hasn't been tapped. For price to push up, it doesn't need to, but because it's tapped the EMA. Let's see. Let's try to figure this out. We're ranging right now. Yeah, we're just going sideways. Yeah, 4 hours all sideways, 1 eye sideways, 30 minutes is sideways, right? All 3 time frames are moving sideways. EMAs are flatlining, prices in the middle of both, just above, but the EMAs are flatlining, they're going sideways. We've formed 30-minute resistance pre-NY, we formed 30-minute support. This doesn't mean anything because there is supply here. Yeah, I'm looking for sells. I'll be looking for sells. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, I'll be looking for sells. I'll be looking for price to come here and drop to the London low. I want to see another rejection of the London high. That's the London high. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. Yeah. 306, 308. Yeah, I'm looking for sells to come down. But this is a fairly large liquidity candle. It's a 185 pip candle. So we're going to have to wait for confirmation. We've tapped 33308. The reason for that is there is a swing eye here that pushed price down, and we've tapped it. I'd like to see a 15-minute back candle close. We've formed 30-minute resistance already, right? Inside of pre-NY. I'd like to see at least a 15-minute tradable back candle close below 3333 to take a trade to come down. First here, so that would be about a, depending on where you get in, that will be about a 200 pip drop. And then, yeah, about 230 to the liquidity candle. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. 15-minute back candle close here to take the sells to come down. That's the plan. We got another 17 minutes for news, so we're going to wait. We're going to wait, but this is the plan. So we have 30-minute resistance form here. We closed above the Asian high. Closed below, closed above, closed below, closed above, tapped, pushed up. I want to see a rejection of the London high. That is why 30-minute resistance would be better, but 15-minute resistance also is good enough because we've already formed 30-minute resistance. So 15-minute resistance form and a 15-minute tradable back handle close can take the sells to come down. Stop loss would be above the liquidity candle high, which means this candle high. This high is 48.35, so around 33.48.5 is your stop loss for price to come down here. It's about 240, 250 pip drop. That's the plan. No, yeah, no buying here because we are in supply. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for the 15-minute candle to close. Pushing up. 317. Yeah. Once yeah, we are pushing down, pushing down. Yeah, we're pushing down. Once we form 50-minute resistance, it should be good to tap and continue down. Yeah. Let's wait for the candle to close, but we should drop down here. Let's just wait for the candle to close to draw the fib. As I said, I'm waiting for 50-minute resistance to form, tradable 50-minute back candle to close below 3333. Seems like that's what's happening. We got another 5 minutes for the candle to close though. We have to wait for the candle to close. If we push up here, that would be nice. So we got to wait for the candle to close. This would have been a great entry, but we got to wait for the candle to close. I wanted to see 50-minute resistance form, and that's what's happening right now, but you got to wait for the candle to close. And there is news in 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. You got to wait for that. Pushing down though. It's already pushing down. We've tapped this area, perfect liquidity candle, tap, and pushing all the way down here. So price is coming to 3317. That's 30-minute support. Then the London low, 3313 possibly. Yeah, 3313. And then 3309 if there is volume to get there. If there is volume to get there. 3309, and then further down, next is 3300. Back to 3300. So a minute and a half for the candle to close. Let's see, this high 208, 535, 208. 28535. Yeah, this is news. See if you have the pullback, or they're going to push straight through to 3317. Six to two. Yeah, we went past this high. Yeah, if you tap three triple 3.1 or 333, you can take a sell to come down here. That's 160 pips. And if you get higher, you can take another sell at around 3337.5 or 3338.5. Right? You can take a sell to come for the down. Stop loss would be above the candle here. Right? That would be the stop loss. It's a fairly large stop loss, so it's better to get a deeper entry. But this is where it's coming to 3317. We've formed resistance, we've closed here. Numbers really don't matter. This is not news driven. Yeah, it's good numbers for the US dollar. They were expecting bad numbers, they're good numbers. So it's good for the US dollar. So price should continue down. But let's wait for that pullback. You can take sells anywhere in this liquidity candle, right? If price comes down, you just need to know how to manage your risk. Now, unfortunately, this is a very large liquidity candle. It's a 189 pip candle. Um, so you can take it anywhere in there. If you tap that, you can take it anywhere in there to come down, but you got to be careful. The deeper price comes, the better. That's why I've put these areas, three, 3,333, and 3,338.5. You should get a pullback. Once we have a 5-minute bull candle close, yeah, we should have a pullback. Price will come, um, create a bottom wick, and then push up. So just be patient. Yeah, we have a bull candle here. Price should come down, grab liquid to create a bottom wick, and then possibly push back up. Possibly. We form 30-minute resistance there. Perfect. That's a liquidity grab. Look at that. 100 and almost a 150 pip wick from a liquidity candle. That's a liquidity grab to push down. We're very likely coming towards 3,300. Yeah, very likely coming there. It's 270 pip drop. Probably even further down. That's a massive liquidity grab to come down. Yeah. So 30-minute, we have the London high. We've rejected the London high. We should be coming minimum towards the London low, right? So 3313. We should be getting towards 3313. That should be the minimum area, 3313. But if you do take sells from around here, if you can get up, if price pushes up here, or if you already are in sells, if you already took sells up here, then that's 122 pips. You can close partial positions at 3317, 3313. That's the minimum area we're coming to, 3313, and then 3309 and 3300. And we could even go through the liquidity candle. It depends on if the liquidity candle is consumed. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we've pushed up and come to 3300. Yeah, I think 3300 is a good area to take everything off. 3300 is a good area. You can take sells anywhere up here, anywhere in this liquidity candle. You just need to watch your risk, your lot size, right? Because you got to keep in mind that's the liquidity candle, right? That's a liquidity candle right there. That's what we've reacted to. That's what we're reacting to now, to push down to 3313 and then possibly even to 3300. If you did get sells up here, I did take a sell up here on one of my other accounts. I took a sell up here. It could be pushing down to 3,300. That's about almost a 300 pip drop. But you got to manage risk. And how you'd manage risk is very straightforward. If a 15-minute candle closes above here, that's where you, if a 15-minute bull candle closes above here, that's where you manage risk. Yeah, 337. That's where you manage risk. We still haven't broken this low. Price needs to break this low to head down another 100 pips. There is a 5-minute bull candle trying to push price back up here. Needs to break this low to continue down another 100 pips. Mm. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. We are trying to push back up. A pushback up is what I'm anticipating, but we could drop because that's a massive liquidity grab on the 30-minute. Massive wick, almost 150 pip wick. So we could continue down without a pullback, without coming up for more liquidity, because that's a huge liquidity grab already. But I am anticipating a push up. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Yeah. So this is what we were expecting. This is what I said would happen. I said I want to see a 15-minute tradable back candle close, and we have that. And we had one more close, so that was a 30-minute candle close. So, but price, I did enter up here. Um, it should be coming down. So this is the anticipated move that we come down to first 3317 and then 3313, and then we continue down to 3309, 3300. But it's a very large wick. It's a 5-minute candle, 183 pip candle. Thirty-nine 16. Yeah, the move happened just before the move started. Yeah, before the news, we started pushing down. Just waiting for price to come back up. Yeah, pushing up. Once we break this low, we're good. We're just going to continue down. Yeah, broke the low. Now we're coming down. Should push down. $22. Hmm. Yeah, we've got about 30 minutes to the NYSE open, so we're probably ranging here. Just ranging. NYSE, probably NYSE volume might bring in volume for continuation. We have a big liquidity grab to push down. It's 150 pips. We're pushing up now. Okay, so that's That's the bull candle. That's an engulfing candle. We're pushing up. We should come here, possibly even here. You can take sells here. You tap the liquidity candle, you can take sells, but you got to be careful of your risk, right? It's a huge liquidity candle. I said it's a 183 pip liquidity candle on the 5-minute time frame. This is where you want to manage risk. If a 15-minute candle closes above if it closes above 3337, that's where you want to manage risk. You can take sells. I've taken sells, anticipating price to come down to 3317 and 3313. Yeah, it'll be 130 pips to this, 170 here, 210 here. Let's see if you can continue to push down. Once we break this low, we're good. Should drop straight here. There are wicks there, a lot of wicks there, but we've tapped the liquidity candle again. So that should drive price below that and below this support here, down to this range here. Yeah, 5-minute candle should close bearish. Got about 20 minutes to the NYSE open. I've taken a trade here, taken a trade in the liquidity candle, taken a couple of trades here, in fact, on my other account. This is where I've been managing risk. 3337, anticipating these TP levels, 3317, 3313, 3309. If there is volume, then further down. Let's see. We have broken the 5-minute low. No, we haven't. Once we break this 5-minute low, we should be good because we've tapped the liquidity candle. So once we break, sorry, the 15-minute low, we should be good. Yeah, the 15-minute low and the 5-minute low is the same. So once we've tapped the liquidity candle again, so if we break this low, we should continue down. Another 50 pips and then another 50 pips after that, about 100 pips down. It needs to break this low. 47 minutes for the 4-hour candle to close. Yeah, we could be pushing down. We tapped, broke above the high. We should come down. Could break a below the low as well, this candle. The next 40 minutes, 45 minutes, we could break the low. This low is 3312.79. Yeah, that's the Asian low. Sorry, that's a London low. 3312, the 4-hour low. We could break that low. That's a London low. We first need to get past this candle. We need to get past this 15-minute candle to come down. This 5-minute candle has no top wick, so this candle could come back up, all the way up, create a top wick. Or the next one can come and create a top wick, and we could go higher, no top wick. Whenever there is no top wick, it's very likely that the next candle will come back above. And once it taps, then it can go deeper and then come down. I won't be live streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is Good Friday, so I'll be taking the day off. It's also Friday, so best to maybe take some time off because it's also Good Friday. European banks are closed, but I think the US banks, a lot of the US banks are open tomorrow. Might have a low volume tomorrow. Might. We don't know. Might have a high volume day. Could have a low volume day. Could go either way. But I'll probably very likely take the day off, and so I won't be streaming tomorrow. Be back again on Monday. Yeah, 15-minute candle closed bearish, but 5-minute candle has no top wick, so we could be coming up above it again. You also form 30-minute support here, 30-minute resistance, 30-minute support, but that's a big wick. It needs to break this low to continue down. We're coming back up. No top wick, we're coming back up. Yeah, we're going above these highs. Yeah, it's all dojis, just like the last couple of days. Yesterday we had dojis, and then later on the move started. Previous day we had dojis until the end of the NY session, and today again we're having all dojis. Look at those 30-minute candles. One, this candle is about to close in 11 minutes. Could be a doji. One, two, three, four, five. Five candles. Nothing. This is a liquidity grab though, but just wicks on either end. Price needs to break this low to head down. I mean, sells from here, price needs to break this low to head down. Needs to. Hmm. Just ranging. Very similar to yesterday. Just ranging. So, how I'm going to manage this trade that I'm in? Um, Those are my trades. I did take a few trades up there when the 5-minute candle closed like this, just while the 5-minute candle was forming. I have trades down here and trades up here. So either way, I'm going to be managing all those trades at 3,337. That's where I'm going to be managing all these trades. Once we close above, I'm closing everything. 3,337. And the reason for that is we just have a wick here, but on the 15-minute, it's clearer. We have a candle close above, we ranged above, closed below, closed above, stayed above, came back, tapped, closed below, closed above, closed below, closed above, closed below, closed above, closed below, stayed below, right? We should be coming down. So if you close above, then that's it. That means we're heading deeper into the liquidity candle. There's no need to hold any trades from that point. But once we break this 30-minute low or the 15-minute low, they're the same low. Once you break this low, we're good. We should be coming down to 3317 and 3313. But it has to break this low for that. Once it breaks the low, we should have volume to continue to this range here. This is about a 40 pip range. Then once the momentum should drive us past the EMA to 3313. But we have to break this low first. The setup for today are sells. I'm not giving out any buy setups. It's the sells that I've taken. If price closes above, if a 15-minute candle, bull candle closes above 337, 3337, right, or 3337, then I close everything. But the idea today are sells. So wait for 30-minute resistance to form. If this don't work, then wait for 30-minute resistance to form. And for a tradable 30-minute back candle to close, to take the trade to come down to 3317, 3313, 3309, 3300, right? That's where we should be heading. Let's see if these cells work, the current cells that I'm in. These are the cells that I'm in. Needs to break the low. Once it breaks this low, we should be good. Double 228. And you want a 15-minute candle close, not just the low to break. You want a 15-minute candle close below 3321.5. 3332. Three three two two. Yeah. Want a 15-minute candle close below 3322. Not just a break of the low, but you want the candle to close below 3322, and then we're pushing down. 50 pips, then about a 90 pip push down. It's got about 6 minutes for the candle to close. Let's see how it closes. Yeah, we broke the low now. 2228 low, yeah. But you want to close below this 3322. or a close below the 3321, the Asian low. The Asian low. A close below the Asian low would be better. A close below the Asian low. It's got another 5 minutes for the candle to close. Okay, so I'm going to be here for another 5-6 minutes. I've said how I'm going to manage the trade. I'm going to manage the trade at 33.37. A 15-minute candle needs to close below 3322 or 3321, right? 3321 is the Asian low. That's the Asian low, 3321. Yeah, 3321. If you close below 3321, we're good to go down. If you don't, we could be pushing back up. Yeah, let's see how this candle closes. And then I'll end the stream. 3 minutes more for the candle to close. Yeah. So took sells. I took sells somewhere here, also up here. These sells are good enough. If you didn't get these sells, I took those sells based off on when we clearly rejected that area. We were anticipating 15-minute candle close. It happened just before news. But if you took sells here, that's good too. That's inside the liquidity candle to drop to 3317. That's 150 pips, and then to 3313, 180 pips. But you want to see a 15-minute close below this Asian low, 3321. It's got about 2 minutes more for the candle to close. Let's see if we can push past and close below the Asian low. That would be great. Then we can anticipate the next candle to pull back and break the low and continue lower. This 30-minute candle should close bearish, but a close below this is better. 2150 is better. Yeah. No, doesn't seem like we're going to close below. We're closing back above. All right, so this is where you manage risk. 3337, 15-minute candle closes at it or above it. I will close everything, right? These are the TPs, 3317, 3313, 3309, and if there is volume to 3300, right? All right. Yeah, 30-minute candle is closing bearish. The next one should pull back up and then continue. Yeah, we should pull back up and continue down. Close bearish. All right. See you guys on Monday. See you on Monday, 7:30 a.m. EST. Right? Won't be streaming tomorrow, but I'll be here on Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. All right. Take care.